Captain, would itself be sufficient accommodation, but based on the ingenuity of your appearance, I am convinced you deserve the character here given.
Permit me to say, madam, that though I have not yet had the pleasure of meeting Miss Languish, the principal inducement in this affair is the honor of being allied with Mrs. Malaprop, whose intellectual accomplishments, elegant manners, and unaffected learning, no tongue is silent.
Oh, sir, you do me infinite honor. I beg, Captain, you'll be seated. Ah, yes. Few men nowadays know how to value the ineffectual qualities in a woman. Men have no sense nowadays but for the worthless flower of beauty.
Oh, this is but too true, madam, but I fear our women should share the blame. They think our admiration of beauty so great that knowledge in them would be superfluous. Thus, like garden trees, they seldom show fruit until time has robbed them of more spacious blossoms. Few, like the orange tree and Mrs. Malaprop, are rich in both at once.
Sir, you are too kind. He is the very pineapple of politeness. You are not ignorant, Captain, that the giddy girl has somehow contrived to fix her affections on a strolling, eavesdropping young ensign who none of us have seen and nobody knows anything of.
Oh, I've heard this silly affair before, believe me. I hold no prejudice against her on that account.
You are too good, Captain. I am sure I have done everything in my power since I exploded the affair. Long ago, I laid my positive conjunctions on the girl, never to think on the fellow again. I have since laid Sir Anthony's preposition before her. But I am sorry to say, she seems resolved to decline every particle I enjoyed her.
It must be very distressing indeed, ma'am.
It gives me the hydrostatics to such a degree. I thought she had persisted from corresponding with the fellow, but behold, this very day I have interceded another letter from the fellow. I believe I still have it in my pocket.
Oh, the devil, my last note.
Ah, yes, here it is.
My note indeed. Treacherous Lucy.
There, sir. Perhaps you know the writing.
I think I might have seen this hand before. I certainly must have seen this hand before.
But read it, Captain.
My soul's idol, my adored Lydia. Very tender indeed.
Tender. I am profane, too. Oh, my conscience. But go on a little further.
I am excessively alarmed at the intelligence you send me. The more so as my new rival
That's you, sir.
has universally the character of being an accomplished gentleman and a man of honor. That's handsome enough.
The fellow has some design in writing so.
That he has, but I'll answer for him, ma'am.
But go on a little further.
As for the old weather-beaten she-dragon who guards you, what do you mean by that?
Me? Sir, me. He means me. What do you think of that? But go on a little further, you'll see presently.
Impudent scoundrel. Shall go hard, but I will elude her vigilance, for as I am told that the same ridiculous vanity which makes her dress up her court creatures and deck her dull chat with hard words which she don't understand.
There, sir, there, an attack upon my language, an aspersion on my parts of speech, was ever such a brute. Sure, if I reprehend anything in this world, it is the use of my oracular tongue and a nice derangement of epitaphs.
Yes. You should be hanged and quartered. And let me see. Same ridiculous
You
plan as...
need not read it again, sir.
I beg pardon, ma'am. Does also lay her open to the grossest deceptions from flattery and pretended admiration. Impudent coxcomb. So that I have a scheme to see you shortly with the old Herodin's consent, and even to make her a go-between in our interviews. Oh, was ever such assurance?
Did you ever hear anything like it? he'll elude my vigilance, will he? He's very likely to enter these doors. Let him if he can, I say. We'll try who can plot best.
That we will, ma'am. That we will. Good seated public. But as this girl seems to be so infatuated by the fellow, suppose you were to wink at her corresponding with him for a while, as you even plan an elopement with him. Then, do you connive and escape, while I, just in the nick, will have him laid by the heels and fairly contrive to carry her off in his stead.
I am delighted with this scheme. Never was anything better perpetrated.
Not I see the girl for a few minutes now. I should like to try her temper.
I don't know. I doubt she is not prepared for a visit of this kind, but there is a decorum in these matters.
Oh, she won't mind me. Only tell her that Beverly...
Sir?
Softly. Good tongue.
What did you say of Beverly?
I was only going to say that you should tell her, by way of jest, that it was Beverly who was below. She'll come down soon enough then.
Oh, 'twould be a trick she well deserves. Besides, the fellow says he'll give my consent to see her. Let him if he can, I say again. Lydia! Come down here! He'll make me a go-between in their interviews. Come down, I say, Lydia! 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 I don't wonder at your laughing. His impudence is truly ridiculous.
Very ridiculous upon my soul, ma'am.
I'll go at once and tell her who it is, and she shall know that Captain Absolute has come to wait on her. And I will see that she behaves herself as becomes a young woman.
As you please, ma'am.
Oh, for the present, Captain, your servant. I see you're not done laughing yet. Oh, he'll elude my vigilance, will he?
One might think that I might throw off all disguises at once and claim my reward with security. But such is Lydia's caprice that to undeceive her may be to lose her. I'll see if she knows me.
What a scene I am now to go through. There stands the hated rival. An officer too, but... Oh, how unlike my Beverly. I wonder he don't begin. Truly he seems a very negligent wooer, quite at his ease. Upon my word. I'll speak first. Mr. Absolute.
Ma'am.
Oh heavens! Beverly!
Hush, hush, my life, be not
I'm
surprised.
so astonished and so terrified and so overjoyed. For heaven's sake, how came you here?
Briefly, I have deceived your aunt. I was told that my rival was to visit here this evening, and contriving to have him kept away, have passed myself on her as Captain Absolute.
Oh, charming! And she really takes you for your Absolute.
Oh, she's convinced that it's...
Oh, I can't forbear laughing to think how her sagacity is overreached.
We trifle in our precious moments. Such another opportunity may not occur. Let me then conjure my kind to fix a time when we may rescue her from undeserving persecution, and with a licensed warmth plead for my reward.
Will you then, Beverly, consent to forfeit that portion of my paltry wealth, that burden on the wings of love?
Come to me, rich only thus in loveliness. 'Twill be generous in you, Lydia, for you well know 'tis all the dower your poor Beverly can repay.
Oh, how persuasive are his words! How charming will poverty be with him!
Oh, what a life will we then live! Love will be our idol and support. By heavens, I would fling all the goods of fortune from me with a prodigal hand, only to witness a scene where I might clasp my Lydia to my bosom and say, the world affords no smile to me, but here. She holds now, the devil's in it.
Oh, now I could fly with him to the antipodes. Oh, but my persecution has not yet come to a crisis.
I am anxious to see how the little hussy deports herself.
So pensive, Lydia. Is thus your warmth abated?
Warmth abated? So she's been in a passion, I suppose?
No, whatever can while I have life.
So she'll be in a passion all her life, will she?
Let not the idle threats of my ridiculous aunt ever have any weight with me.
Very dutiful, upon my word.
Let her choice be Captain Absolute, but Beverly is mine.
I am astonished at her assurance. To his face! This! To his face!
Let me thus enforce my suit.
Oh, the poor fellow, down on his knees entreating for pity. Oh, I can contain no longer. Why, thou vixen! I have overheard you.
Oh, confound her vigilance.
Captain Absolute, I know not how to apologize for her shocking rudeness.
All safe, I find. I have hopes, ma'am, that time will bring the young
there's
lady...
nothing to be hoped for her. She's as headstrong as an allegory on the banks of the Nile.
Patty, what do you charge me with now?
Lydia, I am astonished. Didn't you tell this gentleman to his face that you loved another better? Didn't you say you never would be his?
No, madam. I did not.
Lydia, you ought to know that lying don't become a young woman. Didn't you say that Beverly possessed your heart? Tell me that, I say.
'Tis true, ma'am, and none but Beverly.
Oh, hold, assurance. You shall not be so rude.
Don't stop the woman's speech, ma'am. She's very much allowed to speak so. It doesn't hurt me in the least.
You are too good, Captain, too amiably patient, but come with me, miss. Let us see you again soon, Captain. Remember what we have fixed.
I shall, ma'am.
Come, take a graceful leave of the gentleman.
May every blessing